Welcome to today's webinar, courtesy of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. Discover no-cost, valuable business services to help you thrive, whether starting your entrepreneurial journey or scaling your existing business. We have the resources and expertise to help you succeed. For more information, please visit our website or text 502-977-5800. Thank you for joining us today. Feel free to use the chat feature to ask questions or engage with our speaker. Let's get started.
Hi, welcome everyone to our Getting Your Green in the Bluegrass edition of Toolkit Tuesday. So thanks for joining us today. You know, getting money for your business is super important, so that's what we're doing today. As always, I'm joined by my good friend and coworker, Janet Flaw. How are you, Janet?
Doing good today. Tomorrow is October 1st, and hopefully we'll start cooling down next week, but it still feels like summer, doesn't it, Dave?
It does. It definitely does. And tomorrow is a national holiday because tomorrow is Janet's birthday. Happy pre-birthday, Janet.
It felt like that. Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
So just to make sure that everybody can see and hear is okay, if you look at the bottom of your screen, or you see the little chat button right down there, toolbar. If you don't, just hover your cursor down there. It should pop right up and click on that chat. And then if you wouldn't mind, just pop it in there and telling me your name and where you're joining from. It's always so much fun to see where everybody comes from. So I can see people kind of popping in here. You know, the numbers are moving there. Hey, Lily from Louisville. And there's Marcia. How are you? Hey, Jim. How are you? Hi, Robert. Good to see you again. Good to see you too, Jim. So yeah, we are all celebrating Janet's birthday tomorrow. Excellent. Well, hey, Chris. You know, getting your green in the bluegrass is super important. How do you access those funds for your business as you need them? So to get to the bottom of that, kind of assembled a super powerhouse panel of our guests, some people that we know very well, that we work with a lot, and that have great resources for small business here. Hey, Jeannie, Terrell, good to see you. Hey, Jan, there we go. All right. So join us from Park. I have Brittany Mason and Ellie Yerkes. Hey guys, you want to pop in?
Hello.
Ellie.
Thank you for having
Hi,
us.
Ellie.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Brittany.
Hello.
And then from Old National Bank, we have Nico Bustamante. Hey, Nico.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I thought what we would do first is let everybody introduce themselves, talk a little bit about the different programs they have, and you know, I'll introduce the bank and the services and everything about themselves. So let's start with Park. So Ellie, you want to pop in first?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I am Ellie Yerkes with Park Community Credit Union. Let's see, hold on, little technical difficulties on my end. There we go. I am Senior Business Development Officer with Park Community Credit Union. Just going to talk real quickly about some of the business solutions that Park Community offers, and then I'm going to kick it over to Brittany Mason, who's our commercial sales manager, and she can give a little bit more in depth about what she does and her job. But at Park Community, really when we're working, wanted to dive in really quickly about like financing 101 and what Park is looking for with our small business partners that come in and ask for lending. We're always looking at the 5 C's of credit: your character, capacity, collateral, capital, and conditions. So those are things to take into consideration anytime small business, your dream and put your business plan together. That's what lenders are looking for. Obviously, character is determined by your credit score and credit history. The capacity is your income and other financial obligations that you have, and if you'll be able to pay back any lending that you've taken. collateral, savings assets that can be claimed if you don't make their payments that you're putting up for the loan. Capital, same savings assets that you have to go towards the loan, and then conditions and how do you intend to use the money, what the actual loan is for. So those are just the 5 C's to remember when you're going into the small business lending realm to build your business. And my screen just went blank, it looks like. That's awesome. There we go. It's fancy, my bad. 3 questions that Park Community as lenders that we're always looking for when we're working with our small business partners is, can you pay? Do you have the capacity? Do you pay? What's your credit score look like? Your relationships with your bankers, your reputation out in the community. Those are all things that we definitely take into consideration in our loans. And then do you have the support if you can't pay, the collateral that we talked about, the cash, different things like that. So again, just kind of giving high overview of things that we're looking for and lending. And then to help you increase your net worth. There are so many advantages of working with a credit union for your small business needs. So just to kind of give you those lower fees, lower interest rates, we're very relationship driven. We really want to help our small business partners grow, build it to their large business, help them with their dreams and that financial path that they're taking. And then we've designed lots of products that are specifically for small businesses. So that's where I'm going to throw it over to Brittany because she is the expert in what all the products and services that Park has. So Brittany.
Sure. Thank you, Ellie.
You're
There's a
welcome.
lot to get through. It's hard to sum up small business lending in a couple of slides. It can be a little complex, but I appreciate the introduction. You did a good job.
Thank you.
So when it comes to small business lending, we have here at Park a few different products. Some of the more popular ones, I'll start off with explaining. I'm going to share my screen as well, is our microloan. I know a lot of people have been familiar with our microloans here at Park, or it seems to be a very popular product. Anytime I'm out in the market or I'm at a networking event, everyone always touts about our microloan product because that was their introduction to small business lending here. And it's advantageous for those that would have liked a business credit card, but also just didn't qualify for the business credit card elsewhere. They come here to Park to apply for a business microloan that gets them, immediate financing for their needs. So this is something that's quick and easy, not as quick as a credit card, but that's because we, give a little credit to how long you've been in business, what you do, your business partners. We look at your actual business plan and then determine the loan amount. So it can be between $500 or $10,000. The biggest part of our microloan where everyone gets excited is they hear that it's interest free. But I want to make sure everyone on this call understands it is not interest free. You do pay the interest up front every month. However, the biggest advantage for this product is that if you make all of your payments throughout the life of the loan on time, so no late payments, at the end of your term, you receive a check for all the interest that you've paid. So you get a refund for your interest, not interest free, but you get all of that interest that you've paid over the life of the loan, you get it back. There's no other loan product like that, especially for small businesses just getting their feet wet. So this is our most popular product for a lot of small business owners. Outside of that, we are a traditional commercial division here. So we offer your standard business term loans, revolving lines of credit. A lot of people come here looking for payroll lines or things to help them make their, kind of bridge the gap where their cash flow, it has a shortage. And then we also offer asset-based lines. So for those that have are collateral heavy. So you are a service company or you've provided a lot of services on credit, I'll say. So you said, okay, I'll do the work for you now and you can pay me later. Well, paying you later doesn't pay the bills that come in today. So we provide you asset-based loans to help you bridge that gap as well. And then our other popular products that we do here at Park are the investment real estate loans that we have. So we'll do traditional commercial real estate loans, all the way from single family, land loans, multifamily apartment buildings, duplexes, office buildings. If you have a strip center, we'll also finance that as well. So we do a lot of different loan types here. Just you name it, we can cover it. But our sweet spot here at Park is more for our small businesses. The other real estate loans that we have are lines of credit. A lot of people will have investment homes and then they'll want to use the equity in those investment homes for future real estate purchases or future investments. We do those as well. We can do construction loans and we also do lot loans. And a lot of times, if you don't understand a loan product, just give us a call. We're available. Our branch staff is trained, but more importantly, my department is the experts, right? So if you ever have a question about business loans or real estate loan or what's happening in the market here, we span between Southern Indiana, Louisville, and our Lexington market, but we cover a lot of the Bluegrass as well. So not just Lexington. So what you need to apply, and we can send this out to anyone who may be interested, but I always say, if you want to take a screenshot, you want to take a snapshot, this is not specific to Park. I always advise our business clients, right, our business members, to have a folder on your desktop. And I say it's your bank folder. And you want to have all these products available at your fingertips when it's time to submit for a loan. Ask, call, you're calling your lender and you have questions. If you have your bank folder with all this information, current and applicable, then they'll be able to give you more detailed, qualified, specific answers for your questions. And then when you're ready to submit your application is seen and processed a lot quicker and smoother when you provide certain information up front. So you'll always hear, we need a complete loan package, or I need all these documents before I can push it to underwriting, or before I can put your loan application in. This is the same thing. So you'll want to take a screenshot of this screen, and if you need me to go back, I can. But I'll also have all this information available as well. It's called a PFS statement. Your IDs, they have to be current. Okay. I know sometimes life gets busy and we forget and don't look in our wallets or realize that our IDs, our driver's license have expired, our passports have expired, all of those things. It happens. It happens on a weekly basis. We realize it. What we want you guys to be prepared, so that just have all the things current, have a copy of it in your little bank folder on your desktop. You'll always be ready for any application that you do. Your tax returns, business and personal, right? Your 1040s or 1065s, have those current, have the last 2 to 3 years in your bank folder. It's imperative, okay? We'll ask for it every application. We'll ask for it every year. We'll ask for it every annual review. Keep them current. You won't have to dig through your files or wonder where it is, because you have it saved on your desktop in your bank folder. And that's all I have from Park. Any questions?
All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. And here, hang on to your questions, because we're going to open it up and everybody can really dig in and ask some really good questions to our panelists today. But next, I'd like to give Nico an opportunity to introduce himself and talk a little bit about Old National Bank and the cool programs that you guys have.
True. Thank you, Dave. Well, I don't know. Do you go by Dave or David? I've heard both. So,
Both is great.
all right, all right. Both. I'll call you both then. All right.
Okay.
So Nico Bustamante with Old National Bank. For those that are daring, my full name is Nicolas Bustamante Aguirre. So try learning that when you're 3 and spelling all that out. But anyways, that's a side story there. So I work for Old National Bank with the Empowerment Loan Program. I've been with the bank for 5 years now, and it's been a wonderful experience. I can honestly say that I love what I do, and I love our organization. And so um, I do want to kind of go over the Empowerment Loan Program and how it started. It was a brainchild of our CEO, Jim Ryan. He identified that minority and women-owned businesses, historically have had challenges with access to capital, purchasing commercial real estate, and just meeting their daily business needs. And so we allocated $50 million for minority and women-owned businesses in our Chicagoland, Milwaukee, Louisville, Owensboro, Evansville, and also the I'm right, Minneapolis. I'm sorry, our Minneapolis markets. And so, most importantly, though, I do want to make sure that that love is spread here in Kentucky, right? I live in Owensboro, but I travel to Louisville at least once a week, or more if needed. And so, I do want to make sure that the small business owners in this area are having their needs met. And so, this program specifically has adjusted parameters since it's special purpose program or it's a special purpose loan program. We're able to help individuals with lower credit scores. 620, I believe, is the lowest that we can go, and we can lend anywhere from 25,000 all the way up to 5 million. And so, we're able to help out individuals whether they're just starting out, you've been in business for 2 years, you're looking to scale up a little bit, or you've already got a full-blown operation, and you're needing help in moving to the next step there too. So not just the lower credit score, we do allow adjusted parameters as far as the debt service coverage ratio. Generally, we do request on the conventional side that you earn $1.25 for every dollar that you spend. With our program, we're able to reduce that to $1.10 versus every dollar that you spend. And so, it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're dealing in the thousands or even up in the millions, it can accumulate. And so that is one of the benefits with our program. We also allow adjustments with our terms, conventionally 20 years for a commercial real estate property. And so with the Empowerment Loan Program, we're able to extend that out a little bit more to 25 years, which that kind of eases a little bit on the cash flow and also makes the payments a little bit more affordable for you. Of course, we're never going to tell you not to pay down the principal. That's your prerogative. And I would highly encourage that on a personal side, right? So we've been able to help out a multitude of individuals in Chicagoland market. But again, I want to kind of present that to this area and make sure that we're sharing it with everybody that we can. With this being a pilot program, though, we are limited to specific markets until it gets rolled out company-wide. I don't, I feel like in the banking world, we kind of work a little bit slow on everything. Old National Bank's been around for 190 years, 1834, but everything kind of moves at that speed of compliance, making sure everything, meets the mark. And so I do want to say that thank you to Brittany and Ellie for touching on the 5 Cs. We do implement that at Old National Bank as well. We want to make sure that we're lending to the right people for the right reasons at the right time. And so, sometimes we're not able to help you out and we refer you to Dave or, Janet to make sure that they get you up to par. So that way we are able to lend to you, whether it's working on your credit score or business plan. I loved your all's presentation, Brittany and Ellie, touching on the financial packet specifically. That has been not necessarily a pain point, but it can be hard to explain to some of our clients. Like, we're not the only ones that are going to ask for it. And so I think that it's wonderful that you've brought that up, and definitely something that you should consider, making sure that do have the 2 years financial, so that way we can kind of move forward a little bit quicker. Of course, all your state documents, IDs, and of course the PFS. But um, yeah, I do want to say we do work with other financial institutions if we're not able to assist you as well, not just the SBDC. Um, we do work in conjunction with gap lenders. And so that microloan program sounds wonderful. I'm not trying to just sell Old National Bank, but rely on the individuals that are invested in you, right? So with us, we can lend up to 85% of commercial real estate. And we've been known to work with other gap financiers to meet your needs. And so let's just say you only have 5%, and maybe Brittany and Ellie, or another CDFI can kind of come in and fill that gap. Old National Bank is still only taking on the 85% risk, and you only have the 5%, and then a gap lender can come and fill in the remainder. And so that's kind of where we're unique. We will definitely try to meet your needs as much as possible. I will say commercial real estate, it does have some caveats, right? We're only capped at 3 million, or we're capped at 3 million that we can lend out for commercial real estate. And also we don't lend to investment banking, or I'm sorry, investment properties. And so if you're wanting to purchase an apartment complex, unfortunately, that just doesn't fall under the realm of empowerment. And the main focus for us is to create generational wealth, and then also employ individuals in your community. Make sure that you're providing for your families, and keeping that food on the table, and also thriving, right? So, unfortunately, sometimes that does meet a little bit of resistance, but again, we want to keep to the spirit of the program and make sure that we're addressing those needs. But yeah, it's I forgot to set my timer, Dave, so I don't know where I'm at on here. So
You're doing great.
all right, well, I do want to kind of relay one of our most recent experiences here in the Owensboro market. There is a kinesthetic, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with the exercise like kinesthetic routines. But anyways, there's a individual who's wanting to sell a franchise to one of her teachers. And so we've been able to review that. Uh, the business is solid. We're looking to hopefully finish that out here shortly. But she wasn't able to fully guarantee the loan herself, and so we do bring in strong guarantors at that point. We try to evaluate whether or not we're lending. You're going to be able to pay the loan back. We don't want to put you in a bind, right? And so I do feel like this program has been very successful at making sure that you're meeting all of our criteria, and then also what expectations you have. We're going to make sure that those are met as well. And so definitely don't want to set you up for failure. Of course, businesses, Park or Old National, are not in the business of taking from you. We want to make sure that you're continuing to promote. So anyways, yeah, kind of get off my shoebox there. And if you have any questions, love to hear you out. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate that, and learned a few things myself along the way. But now, here's everybody out there. This is your opportunity to ask some questions. You as specific as you want, regarding your situation or what you're trying to do. All three of these great bankers are here to help and share what they know. Their success is your success, basically, and your success is their success. So we're all working together on this. So if you want, just type your question in the chat right there. Everybody did very well using the chat. So if you have a question, put that in there. But I will open up with the first question. So Ellie, I'm going to start with you. What do you think? What's the most common mistake you see small business owners make when they're applying for a loan?
I think what I tend to run across when I'm just out talking in the community to small business, it's really more startups. Maybe just not, they think they have the capital or business credit. And so it's really understanding that their personal credit will impact how the business starts and the lending opportunity, and to build the business credit score. Really, it's the individuals that are involved, right? They have to take a look at what their personal credit scores look like, deep dive into it, and we can walk them through that process completely to help them. As Nico said, we are not in the business to tell everyone no and watch them fail. We want everyone to succeed. So I think a lot of times that's what I run into before I even pass them off to the actual MBL lenders, and Brittany and her team is just really talking to them about what those steps look like. That tends to be a misconception, I think, when they're like going to start a business, they don't understand what that impact can look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let's see, Jim, back to you guys on Park. Jim says, for Park Community, how can you refund the interest if all payments are made? Somewhere there has to be a profit for you. What do you guys say about that?
Well, Jim, that's a great question.
It is a great question.
That is a great question. Our microloans are not our most profitable product. I'll tell you that. But it's not meant to be profitable. It's definitely just a tool to help our community that is in small business lending. So like she said, there's just a lot of startups and people with a lot of dreams that apply for these microloans. And we are doing everything that we can to see those come true. While it's not profitable, it is beneficial, right? A lot of the members that apply for that, we've been able to watch them grow, right? See how their business has expanded over the years with just the implementation of a microloan.
Mm-hmm.
So while we may take losses in the microloan sphere, the benefit outweighs our initial loss of any kind, right? So if there is anything to be earned from a microloan, it is just the upstart of the fees. But our fees are very minimal. It's only like $100 doc fee. There's no appraisals that you're getting, right? So there's minimal fees to pay even just to apply for the microloan.
Mm-hmm.
And but in order to get that refund, you have to make sure that all the payments are paid. And that is
Yeah, it's
a discipline that a lot of small businesses that are starting out don't have, but that's the incentive to learn that habit and create that type of discipline, right? We
right.
want you guys to improve your credit. We want you to do better. We want you to be able to make payments on time, because then you're considered in our industry bankable, right? Because
Right.
you're paying your debts back on time, not just us, but hopefully all the other creditors that you may have accumulated over the lifetime of the business. And then
Mm-hmm.
have grown your business to have more inventory, which means you need a bigger line outside of microloans, which means now you can get your standard or conventional financing outside of being capped at $10,000. So
Yeah.
there's benefits, not
Yeah.
necessarily,
Thank you.
but our benefit
That's
helping the community.
there you go. Yeah. Nico, here's a question for you. A husband and a wife on an LLC, is that considered a woman-owned business or just a generic business? What do you think?
Yeah. So before I answer that, I do want to say I apologize for not having any marketing material. We're currently going under rebranding or going through rebranding, and so I wasn't able to have a nice presentation. But yeah, to answer your question, so we do assist minority and women-owned businesses as long as it's a 50% ownership by a minority or woman-owned business. So if it's more,
Okay.
wonderful. But if not, great too. Well, great for you, but unfortunately, we won't be able to assist you with this specific program. So it has to be at least 50% owned by minority or woman-owned business.
That's good. Great. Ellie, because you touched on this, what are some things people can do on the personal side to prepare for their credit to be in good standing before they apply for a loan?
Sure. One of the tips and tricks that I like to use is not only come into Park and sit down with your personal banker and build a relationship. We can pull credit while you're there, or you can pull your credit once a year without any fees, anything like that. And you can look at actually what is on your credit, how long certain credit lines have been open. There are lots of tips and tricks, like you don't want to close anything. You want to make sure you're making your payments on time. There's a lot of do's and don'ts, but that's really the best thing to do is start with pulling it, knowing what is on that credit score, knowing what is being reported. Sometimes there's things on there that we didn't even realize were on there from eons ago, right? So get that cleaned
Mhm.
up before you're ready to even go into the process of asking for the line of credit or your lending product. Just kind of knowing where you are financially is the most important thing. And then if you do have late payments, we can work around it, right? There's like a whole pie chart that that with Credit 101 that I presented last time I presented with you all, but all of us can talk about is we take a lot of things into consideration on the credit score. So don't be like, oh, I can't ever do this. I'll never be able to start. I missed a payment once. We work through those. We definitely talk to you about what it looks like to build that credit. And a lot of people maybe don't even have that. They just haven't built credit because they haven't taken out credit cards or don't have existing loans, things like that. So that's where having a credit card to start with really helps. We have lots of products that can start building credit that's not necessarily bad credit. You just need to build credit.
Right. Thank you. This is from Aminata. How are you? She owns Maman Couture African and American Design. She's been in business 5 years. How do you apply for a loan? I think she's tried to reach out to you guys before. I don't know if she had any success or not, but with you guys, Ellie, on the microloan.
Okay. Well, Brittany can kind of speak on this, but the number one thing to do is if you're not having success by going online through our application process there, visit any of our local branches. All of our branch team is there to help you. And then they will be your personal banker to walk you through getting to know one of our commercial lenders, Brittany and her team. That's where they kind of do Brittany, can you help? I'm sorry, what was her name, David?
Aminata.
Aminata, where we'd ask Brittany and her team to help you, Aminata, and talk to you about what the next steps would look like. And we really can personally walk you through the whole process. So I apologize if you haven't had success before, but give us another opportunity. We would love to at least talk to you and see where we can help you. Brittany, I don't know if you have anything to add, but
I just took her name down so I could
okay.
search and see what was going on with that application.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. if it
Sometimes
was
online
free
things just
or-
applications are hard.
Yeah.
So persistence pays also,
It does.
Nico, talk a little bit about the interest rates and how they're determined for your all's loans.
Great question. So I do want to say that with the empowerment loan program, we do take additional risk by lowering the conventional, I wouldn't say standards, but our conventional measures to approve an individual for a loan. But we do try to stay on par with our conventional rates, and so generally, the highest bump that I've seen so far is 0.5%. So whatever you're looking at that, I apologize. I don't have what prime is today, but we wouldn't try to outprice you. There'd be no additional fees as far as how we process the loan. It would be on par with what we generally charge our other customers. So regardless of your situation, we would still try to treat you just like everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are like the average repayment terms for yours, Nico?
Yeah, so with equipment, generally we can finance up to 7 years if it's used equipment, 10 if it's new, and then also with commercial real estate, 25 years. We do lines of credit. Of course, those are generally renewed every year, and that's just so that way we're evaluating whether or not your repayments are proper, or if we need to restructure the loan, term it out and make sure that you're able to not just pay the interest, but you're actually paying the loan down. We have had instances recently since our program is new. We've only been around for 2.5 years, where we've had lines of credit for the past 2 years, and now we're extending the credit out for 3 years for a line of credit. And so, now they have draw periods that are even longer. We don't have to worry about the repayment. They've proven that part. And so we're continuing to modify the program as it goes along. And again, hopefully, once we can get out of the pilot stage, we can implement this company wide, or I'm sorry, footprint wide. Generally, we do have select counties that we can lend to, and so yeah.
Okay. You mentioned the real estate loan, 25 years. Is that a straight term, or is it like amortized over 25 years and then certain balloon payments, or how's that work?
Right, yeah, and that's a great question, Dave. I apologize. Maybe I should have explained that a little bit more. This is a lot of information to digest, and so we do amortize it over the 25 years. There are no balloon payments on our loans, and so of course we're going to reevaluate that loan every 5 years. Generally, we do 60-month term, and then we reevaluate what's going on. I mean, it could be to the borrower's benefit if rates are lower, so that way we're assessing repayments, whether or not they've taken out additional lines of credit, and also meeting our covenants. And so generally, whenever you take out a commercial loan, we do set standards as far as the debt service coverage ratio, making sure you're on par with that, making sure that you're not overextending yourself. And so, yeah, that's it. Hopefully I answered your question and I kind of go on a tangent. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lily says, I am a new business owner without a property for my home preschool. If I want to purchase a house residential zone for commercial purposes, would I apply for a commercial loan or a micro loan? Brittany, you want to take that one?
That one you would apply for a commercial real estate loan. That is a property that is being used for business purpose and zoned as a commercial use. So that you would apply for a commercial real estate loan.
Okay. Thank you. Ellie, if you could give one piece of advice to first-time borrower, what would that be?
Oh, goodness. So much advice. Get to know your bankers. Get to know Nico, get to know Brittany, get to know what your options are. I mean, go out there and pull all your resources and be comfortable picking up the phone and asking the questions that you're asking today. I think that is so important. That's why we have jobs. That's what we're doing. We're here to help the community. Call SBDC. I mean, pull your resources. That's the number one piece of advice that I would give. At the end of the day, who you decide to go get lending from, it matters, right? It helps your business. And you can have, like Nico said earlier, we help lots of businesses that have financial relationships with several banks. So we want to watch you grow. So just get to know what you have out there. That's important.
Nico, when you're processing a loan application, what's like a red flag that instantly kind of makes you pause? I mean, what's something?
Yeah, so I believe that being truthful in your financial package is essential. We have had instances where an individual does not disclose bankruptcies or other critical information that their accountant or lawyer has advised them not to disclose. I feel like that's kind of killed, or not necessarily killed. I'm sorry, maybe that's wrong terminology. It's kind of reduced the amount of trust that the underwriter has in the deal, making sure that we can view the deal holistically and your financials holistically, and making sure that we know your full history is important. With the empowerment loan program, we do have the ability to help individuals that have undergone bankruptcy in the past, but unfortunately, there are limitations as far as the risk that we're willing to take. And so, again, being truthful is essential. Making sure that you disclose that, have an open conversation, know your bankers. We're here to help you. Of course, this is all vulnerable information. I mean, I don't like talking to individuals whenever I'm taking out a loan. So I can imagine that it can be a little bit uncomfortable for, most consumers, but that's what I would recommend, is making sure that you're truthful, you disclose everything, and that whenever taking a look at your financials, nothing pops up that's unexpected. So
Okay. If you guys have some questions out there, now's your chance. I don't want to hog the show here.
And I'll just piggyback off what Nico said about
Okay.
being truthful, or taking the advice of others to hide information. I just had this conversation with one of our business members yesterday. Although, he was approved and we were at the closing table, but it took us a long time to get there, mainly because he was reluctant to provide information throughout the loan application process.
Oh,
The more honest and transparent you are with your banker, a banker you trust, I always say that, right? It's about building relationships and trusting the person you're talking to, the more we can help you. So we're not trying to hand declines out. It doesn't does us any good, to decline everyone who comes through the door. We also want to provide loans.
right.
That is our business model. But we also don't want to overextend you. If there's something that we need to restructure, if there's something that we need to rethink, we try to look at it from the bigger picture, but we can't look at it from a bigger picture if there's holes in your picture, right? If there's puzzle pieces missing, nothing's going to fall into place. So be as honest and transparent so that we can all help you along. Don't, as he said, it's very vulnerable to share, but building that trust, going in, setting up meetings, asking if they can meet for lunch, go in and meet your banker if that's what helps you trust them, or call them 10 times a day if that's what helps you trust them. But I hope that everyone gets to a point where they have a trusted banker that they can call on to help them through any financial, issue that may come up, not just in lending, but for their whole financial portfolio.
Yeah. Nico, Jim says, is Owensboro as far west as your program goes, or Paducah?
yeah, that's a great question. I was actually pulling that up, and forgive me, there's I think like 120 counties that we lend in, and so I want to make sure that I was able to answer that appropriately. Um, Unfortunately, McCracken County is outside of our footprint, and so we would be unable to lend there with this specific program. The reason being because we are special purpose, we have to follow federal regulations, and so unfortunately, or even I did look up Livingston County as well. So I do apologize, Jim. Hopefully, once we implement this company wide, we're able to address additional individuals' needs, and so. Yeah, well, you're welcome. But yeah, short answer, not at this time.
Okay. Let's see. Ellie, Chris says, I recently started a new business. However, I have operated or been a partner in a business in the same service industry for 27 years. I have clients I have been working with for 20 to 25 years. Is this something the bank would take into consideration when I'm applying for a loan?
Absolutely. And I'll let Brittany kind of speak. This is why I brought Bob. Brittany and I are tag teaming. She is the expert of all these little not little questions, great questions that are being asked that I think sometimes the relationship with your business lending banker is important so that they can answer. Go ahead, Brittany.
Yes. So your experience in the industry that you are in matters. How long you've been in that industry matters. So it is definitely important. And we do take that into consideration. So we'll have, business members, they've created an LLC that's specific to holding this particular real estate building, right? They want this building and this LLC, but they've been in construction for 20, 25 years. To apply for this loan. Same with a business. You've been producing widgets for 20 years with a company down the street, but you've branched off and want to go on your own, and you've found the investors that helps you get your start, and now you want to branch out even further and produce more widgets, and now you need a larger piece of equipment to help you do that. You formed your own entity. This is the first time you're applying for a loan. will absolutely consider the 20 years you've spent at your first business, of course. That matters.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Thank you.
Dave, do you mind if I kind of piggyback on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what Brittany said is 100% true. We do try to take a look at that, but specifically with Old National Bank, we get a lot of questions as far as startups go, and so this, in our opinion, would be considered a startup. With that being said, though, we've had individuals who have helped their family members manage the business and run it profitably, and so we do generally consider those individuals as well, regardless of whether or not they're a startup. It wouldn't be considered a true startup because they already have that industry experience, and so yeah, just it always helps to ask those type of questions, and really I appreciate that everybody's asking questions. So that's the only way you're going to get the answers, right? So
Yeah. All right. Well, looks like that's all the questions we have today. I really want to thank you guys for coming today and answering these questions and sharing your programs and everything that you know. It's been very enlightening. So, Janet, thanks for driving the ship as always.
Sure thing. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. And I think we have a little survey afterwards, don't we, Janet?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it'll pop up for you. And we'll send you guys the recording and any other information that that these folks here want to share. So reach out to them. They're here to help, and they would love to hear from you. So thanks for joining us for another Toolkit Tuesday, and we will see you next Tuesday.